and thus the rain continues to pour. And we're here back again with Higurashi when they cry. I've read through the tips, and that achievement basically outlines that was the very last tip for this chapter. Does that mean we're at the very end and this is the very last section before the game goes to credits? I guess we shall see. Really kind of curious how they're gonna try to do a chapter end for this. It's all really good so far. It's really good. Oh boy. I also looked a bit more, like, re-listened to the whole thing of Oishi talking about Rina's incident at school again. Apparently, I was a bit off that Rina transferred out at elementary school to Ibaraki Prefecture. Then, by his own words, the incident with the windows happened right then, like shortly after transferring out, and then they transferred back again. So I guess the parents were just really thought it was just a terrible, like, it was just like a case of almost extreme homesick and thought taking her back would like make things better, which I guess in some semblance did. Like just being taken out of the town made things worse. And thinking about it, like if she's fine, like completely stable when things are like normal back in Hinamizawa, and like because of this whole thing, like Keiichi starting to talk with Oishi and learning all the shrine things, and like every time Keiichi asked about the curse, it was her just trying to completely forget about all of that and actually try to live a stable life. And all this happened. Man, that's kind of sad. If they had no involvement at all with the incident, but you're still Mion. Honestly, yeah, Mion is the one thing I do not understand so far. Maybe her parents, even Rina's like thing with the school, the windows breaking there. Besides one person like having like permanent damage to the eye, no police report was filed, no charges were pressed. It's intriguing. Wonder what else like she talked about on the phone. Unless Keiichi was not in the mood to listen to the phone call after seeing Rina say "I'm sorry" over and over again. I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't get any sleep. I tried to stay awake all night, but there was definitely gaps in my memory. I guess I kept nodding off and jerking awake in panic all night. Ah, yes. Did you actually see Rina leave, or did you just lock all the doors and hopefully all the goddamn windows? I spent all night hugging the metal bat and sat on top of the futon I used to barricade my door. Oh, waiting, waiting, watching just in case someone tried to break in through my window. If I left the spot, someone would break through the door, send the futon flying, and attack me. If I stopped watching the window, someone would break through the glass and attack me. I tried telling myself I was just being paranoid, but I couldn't sleep. I don't blame you after the whole thing, so don't beat yourself about it. The thought of being so vulnerable scared the living daylights out of me. If sleep meant taking that risk, I didn't need it. It was so much better to just stay awake. At some point during that endless cycle of nodding off and jolting awake, light began to shine outside. But that was it. It wasn't so much the morning as it was just the sun simply having risen. It's like a peek out through the curtains. Rina was gone. I couldn't see her anywhere no matter how hard I looked. So after the phone call, you were just like, shut the window, barricade everything else, and just like stayed like far away possible, and she left on her own. Finally, I could breathe a deep sigh of relief. The night was finally over. Well, the night's over, but your parents are still not home, so you're still kind of in danger until they come home later tonight. Have fun. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired, but I didn't feel like sleeping in the moment. I was just taking a shower and like energy drinks. I don't know. I don't know if like your family would even have that. I still had time, but I need to make my own breakfast, so I better get started soon. Did you even make your own dinner after all of that? After the whole thing with Rena? Thinking about it, like she knew exactly what you were gonna try to make. Skipping school is also an option. With my mom gone, it'd be easy to play hooky. That was actually my mind too, if they're gonna be home later. But maybe then the school will call and then you get harassed, like, the school, like, call your parents later on and tell them so. Honestly, I debated it. The risk involved in leaving my house was incalculable, so staying holed up in here was probably my safest option. But staying here wouldn't solve anything. Oishi-san wouldn't help me without cold, hard evidence. And my next thought would be like continue to search the trash and like whether you like where you keep the trash cans, like literally just tear through the garbage cans there and just do all of that. It'll be just as easy as simply as I'm doing it in a wide open area like the first floor of your house and just searching to the trash there. That's worth cleaning things up while like making food, honestly. Like you're always within earshot of the door, the windows, and as long as you turn the TV down and you have the knives and the baseball bat on hand, it would help. It honestly helped. The needle would help so much. Neither he nor my parents. So unless I found some sort of proof, these relentless nights would never end. I stretched my body, tilted my head back, and closed my eyes just like I did every morning. Ring dong, ding dong. I regulated my breathing and regained my senses. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. I'm just waiting for the doorbell to ring now. Let's go to school. Oh boy, have fun. Let's wait until he set their trap for me. But that didn't mean I was just gonna twiddle my thumbs. I need to avoid that trap and secure irrefutable evidence. Take note of the plates of any car that drives by. If I see someone suspicious, check their clothes and face. I wasn't just protecting myself. I was preparing myself to turn their attack against them and retaliate. The tension was similar to when two samurai were both aiming to slay each other with a single motion as they drew their katanas. I was not at a disadvantage. I would have a chance to retaliate. I finally felt a bit of courage growing in my chest. Alright, let's go to school. I tied my grip on Satoshi's bat. He was the only partner I could count on. Satoshi, your ghost, please, what do I do? God damn it. Satoshi, please lend me your strength. And entrust your dying regrets to me, since you were probably murdered. Just tacked on the end there. I'll make sure I dispel them. It's gonna be funny if like everyone who's demoned away, like every single one, literally just they're still alive out there. Honestly, that would just be hilarious. Just like, oh yeah, I saw the murder happen, but I just felt like being scarce for a bit. I saw my husband get poisoned, die from an illness. Also saw my husband, fall and drown the river. But I didn't feel like telling the police, talking to the news reports on the press. All that. Just no, no. It's probably like Sonozaki, like Mia and Sonozaki's parents, just hiding and like making sure none of them Marina's incident with breaking all the windows of the other school got out, especially if they have that much sway, even like outside like neighboring prefectures, like they have that much sway. So with renewed resolve, I checked the clock. It was still early. Of course, I was going to school by myself today again. If I didn't want to run into Rina or Mion, I need to leave now. But did you eat food, Keiichi? A growing boy needs his food, especially if he's going to get attacked by another giant car running his way. The shattered fragments of the cupboard were still strewn all over the entryway. Yeah, you should probably clean it up before all your parents get home after school. Oh, yeah, right. That's not gonna look good. I meant to clean it up last night, but never got around to it with the phone call and everything. My parents came back and saw this while I was at school. I would never hear the end of it. Still, I'd be wasting time if I cleaned it up right now. Considering what would happen if I ran into Rina or Mion, it wouldn't be too late. It wouldn't be too late to clean it up after I got it back home. Yeah, good plan. Making extra certain that the doors were locked, I left the house. My uniform was still covered in mud from yesterday, so I left it in the washer. What are you wearing today then? Today I was gonna go to school in a tracksuit. But wearing a different outfit this morning, my mind was forced to accept that today was different from yesterday. Do Do you only have one outfit for the school? Like, I've never been to like a private school or like any school that like has you to wear a uniform. So like, they only give you one? That sounds terrible. That sounds like just wasting a lot of water just trying to put only that one piece of like only that one outfit into the washer every day. Ugh. I had a hunch. Today might be the day I get killed. Wow, nice optimism. Keep your guard up, Keiichi Maebara. The only one who gets to decide if today is my last is me. That's another thing. If like your baseball bat gets thrown away, hopefully like they never mention it, but like if you have like a backpack, that's the next best thing to like swing around, throw, and all that. Just something to help use. But you never go wrong with a pocket knives. Oh boy. Okay, I thought like we were pausing way too long in that on that scene. Oh boy. You having fun getting your exercises in? I spent the morning practicing my swing like it was my natural routine. After a while, Rena arrived at school. Our eyes met, but we said nothing. Rena said nothing about last night. Hey, how's your hands doing, Rena? Oh wait, no, sorry, Rena? As if it never happened. I could see that those events were real by the wounds carved into her fingers. I just heard her telling Sadako and the others that the bandages were from hurting herself in the kitchen. Though it wasn't like it bothered me. The details that Oishi-san shared about Rena's incident before her transfer played vividly in my mind. Now that I knew about it, I couldn't even dream of Rena as a cute, ideal girl now. Kei-chan, I see you're still aiming for the nationals. Yeah, have fun. Like, hi to you too. It was Mion. I'd already sensed your approach, but so I wasn't that surprised. Oh, Mion. If you understand, then leave me alone. I'm busy practicing. I gave her a curt reply without my usual jokes. Then I gave the bat an even larger swing, tactically keeping Mion from getting any closer. Hey, Kei-chan, take it easy. I think Mion got the message, but she still urged me to give it a rest. Homeroom's not that far off, is it? Just let me finish practicing. I swung the bat even harder as a sign of my refusal. Kei-chan, when did you get into baseball? Since yesterday. Leave. Just recently. Recently? You mean yesterday? That's what recently means in this case. Shush! Don't ask if you already know. Oh dear. That's a very unsportsmanlike reply. Well, I'm only sportsmanlike, and Keiichi's only unsportsmanlike to other sportsmanlike people. You play dirty, so yeah, no, that's not team player-like. You're distracting me. Go away. I ignored Mia and kept swinging. I'm just waiting for it to go. Normally she'd get mad or bored and leave if someone gave her the cold shoulder like this. But Mion just stood there, waiting patiently for me to stop swinging. I didn't sense any hostility. For now. But we were at school, in plain view. I doubt she suddenly attacked me here. Or was that too naive? Still, I was starting to get tired. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take a break and hear her out. You need me for something, right? What is it? Sweat poured from me as I stopped swinging. I noticed my shoulders were heaving as I breathed. Oh boy, weakness. I cursed my lack of exercise. At this rate, I might not be able to move as needed when the time came. I should probably keep practicing my swings to build stamina in addition to the excuse for carrying the bat around with me. Well, it's nothing important. Not important enough to wait around for you to talk for 20 minutes. If you're tired, I can ask again later. Now it's fine. I'm only dealing with you right now because I judge the situation to be safe. Talking to you alone and away from others? That's out of the question. Well, Mia was uncharacteristically trying to choose her words. Are you actually gonna talk, or... But unlike Oishi-san, it didn't look like she was gonna talk about something I'd rather not hear. Mia was puzzled, trying to find the right thing to say. You couldn't think about what to say after all this time. But then she gave a hearty laugh to break herself out of that mire. This old man just no good at this stuff. Having a poor vocabulary hurts. What's this all of a sudden? If you have something to say, just say it. Stop it. Stop that swinging. Well, he's already is like kind of already stopped. So step one accomplished. What's step two? Give me the 4-step exercise routine plan right now. You're the coach here. Have fun. She cut herself straight to the point. Her request was so frank, I didn't understand it for a moment. I had already stopped swinging to listen to her, hadn't I? I just stopped, didn't I? That's not what I meant. I want today to be the last day you swing that bat. I'm sorry. It took me some time to understand what she was asking for. What's wrong with swinging a bat? Why? It's none of your business, is it? I'm not bothering anyone, am I? You are. Mion said it flat out. This didn't make any sense, and that was really irritating. When did I bother anybody here? Mia's at a loss for words. Yeah, play that social game somewhere else. Fuck you. But she finally made up her mind and spoke. No, she stuttered, she said it. Because, Kei-chan, that's someone else's bat. You shouldn't borrow without permission. Oh, you're gonna play that game. It was left behind by a student who transferred, right? I'm just borrowing it until he comes back for it. Huh? Yeah, he transferred, quote unquote, and still remembering just like how that small tip screen of you and Rena talking to each other, and you basically point out saying like Rena mentioned, oh, he transferred out, like you made the comment of transferred. You're too sweet, Rena. Just yeah. Mion grew uncharacteristically flustered. That made it all too clear that this transfer was a lie. But strange, isn't it? For the older brother to transfer by himself, while his little sister stayed behind? Mion couldn't hide a reaction as my words shook her up. Kei-chan, you knew? Satoshi Hanjo. Sadako's older brother, right? The one demoned away last year. Unable to respond to that, Mion fell silent. That means you definitely weren't listening into you just know about the meetup that Keiichi had with Oishi and not the actual content, which I actually thought. You only have gossip on your side. Reina asked the same thing. Why did you start swinging that bat? She told me Satoshi did the same thing, practicing his swings, right before he went missing. So, is this some kind of omen for Oyashiro-sama's curse? Shh! Mion panicked and looked around. Please, Kei-chan, don't mention Oyashiro-sama so recklessly! I don't believe in him, but the others very much do. You couldn't even bother to even actually talk about him or just the spirit at all when it was just the two of them, when it was just the two of you alone, going back to Keiichi's house. And Keiichi just mentioned before that he lives practically alone in the outskirts. There's no one around, no neighbors, anything like that. There's plenty of opportunities. Rena especially. Dangerously so? Anyway, okay, that's new. Oh my god. You're scaring everyone. If you're just fooling around, then stop it. You have to stop acting like Satoshi. Oh my. I was the one who's scared. Why do I have to thank for taking up this bet in the first place? But still unsettled me knowing that my actions were overlapping with Satoshi's. It would be one thing if someone suggested it, but I thought I was making up my own decisions. Well, we can all solve this little altercation right here by asking one question. Why? Just that. If she keeps dodging it, then it's literally just... You're just gonna make it worse. I'll say this now. I don't know anything about Satoshi. After all, you didn't tell me anything about him. We didn't mean to hide it. You just didn't want to talk about it. That's still a lie of omission. You were hiding the incidents that happen every year, weren't you? That's because we didn't want to, you didn't want to scare me. That's your reason for leaving me out? No, we didn't mean to. Mion, I asked you directly if something happened at the dam, didn't I? And you told me nothing happened. When someone was dismembered and murdered, you lied to me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie to you. Friends don't hide things from each other, right? Isn't that right? Then you all aren't my friends. Kei-chan, we... Mion looked helpless and flustered. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. When I imagine the tears in her eyes, it feels like I'm still thinking literally that I'm, because we're at the school grounds, like she's still playing up an act. At the same time, it feels genuine though. It's part and parcel. Once I imagine the tears in her eyes, never could imagine Mion acting like this. Oh, by the way, those get well mochi you brought the other day, they were good. I thought I was gonna bleed. Who did it? You? Arena? Me. Yeah, again, fuck you. She admitted it so easily. I couldn't help but be surprised at how easy that was. You could have killed me. How could you do that to a friend? But it was just a little prank. You put the needle in, and then, as a prank, even if it wasn't meant to be prank, but then right before that, as you're handing the mochi to him, just absolutely threaten him. Mion gave a wry smile, mixed with confusion, causing even more anger to well up inside me. You think that was a prank? I grabbed Mion by the collar and lifted her up. That wasn't the same as pulling Tabasco sauce on a piece of mochi. It was a needle. A sewing needle. If I had swallowed that and it lodged in my throat, what did she think would happen? Mion's face froze, her body rattled in fear. This wasn't the Mion Sonozaki I knew anymore. Anyways, you're not my friend. There's no reason for me to listen to someone who's not my friend. So just leave me alone for a while. Got it? Mion wasn't replying anymore. It won't be that easy to erase me, you know. The cops have been on to you from the start. So don't think you can make me disappear like you did Satoshi. I said it clearly. This was my declaration of war. I think you guys are suspects in the previous incidents too. I also know you spent a lot of time with the cops ever since the anti-dam movement. Don't think you can hide it from me. Got that? How did you know? Mion stood there with a dumbstruck look on her face. That was when I heard the principal ring the bell for school. Okay, nice. Immediately go back to pretenses. Drop. Okay, that was a nice practice. You want to come inside now, Mion? It was time for morning homeroom. Let's go. The class representative needs to be there, right? At that moment, the first time, I realized Mion was sobbing as tears ran down her cheeks. You're so mean, Kei-chan. Oh, yeah. You're so fucking mean. You're so fucking mean. Almost breaking into someone's house, putting a needle on, threatening 3 separate times. Oh my god. I want to console her, but I shut my mouth. No, yeah, I don't blame you. They're gonna have to actually fucking apologize before I say anything else. I had no need to feel guilty. You're right there. I'm going. Don't be late for homeroom. I left Mion, still shaking, as I turned around to head for the entrance. Don't be absent from school tomorrow. I had no idea how troubling it was to make a girl cry. Behind my back, I could hear her muttering. It was a faint mutter as she was speaking to herself. So that's how it is. Huh? She wasn't saying it to anyone. It was Mion talking to herself. Oh, you're gonna go crazy again. But it was a sobbing voice that had a kind of giggy, cursing tone. I inadvertently stopped and turned back towards her. So was that bastard who leaked it all to Kei-chan? She balled up her fists as her tears began to rain down. Oh my god, that's actually kind of terrifying. Oh my god. Oh my lord. She glared at a spot on the ground, the terrifying yet smiling face, cursing. A chill ran down my spine from that demonic expression. His transformation, Mion's transformation, was different from Rina's. I should have killed him back then. He forgot the mercy I showed him just because he was going to retire this year. Retiring this year? Was she talking about Oishi-san? Damn it. Damn it. I'm gonna kill that damn old man. I felt like the air itself had begun distorting. With Mia at the center, the world had begun to twist and spiral, bending, whirling. This was the first time I'd known, no, experienced such a visage. So, school, right? Rise, like nothing is wrong. Attention! Mia made an excuse for her red eyes by saying there was something wrong with her contacts. After that, neither Rina nor Mion spoke to me for the rest of the day. Neither Sadako nor Rika-chan looked me in the eye. Strangely, I didn't feel hurt. Everything had just went back to the way it was. The month since I transferred in had almost been too much fun. That was all. School was supposed to be something like this to begin with. I should dislike that feeling, but today, it felt oddly refreshing. Man, this is amazing. The bell rung, sounding the end of the monotonous school day, which had felt so tense, yet so dull. Since it would cause a lot of unpleasant memories if they asked me to join into the club activities, I promptly started preparing to go home without even looking at them. I stuffed the contents of the desk into my bag, wrapped my hand around Satoshi's now familiar bat, and began heading towards the entrance. I was assailed by both the exhausting relief that nothing had happened today, and the tiring possibility of the same thing repeating tomorrow. But deep down inside me, far beneath, in the recesses of my own heart, achingly, I knew this would be the last day of this cycle. I couldn't tell how the ending would be. Oh my god, is this actually the wind down? Oh boy. Oh boy. Whether it would end as I wished it to end, or if it would end as I hoped it wouldn't. Regardless, in my current state, there's nothing more important than how things would end. There was something I wanted to know. Why did I have to be killed? How did it come to this? Why? For what purpose? The sunlight was relentless. The sun, the heat, even the air. They wouldn't give me my answers. Or could it be that the cries of the Higurashi were desperately trying to tell me something? Somewhere, mixed in with their shrieks, Tomatake-san and Satoshi were also probably trying to tell me something. I simply haven't been able to realize it yet. When I do realize it, I wonder if I will be amongst the Higurashi fruitlessly, crying to the next victim. Glancing down at my feet, I saw a Higurashi on its back, spasming weakly. Wee. There was still much of the summer left, yet this one was already chirping its last song. I couldn't tell what it was saying, no matter how hard I listened, but I had to try. I had to try to listen to what it was desperately trying to tell me. At that moment, the shrills of the Higurashi ceased all at once. Okay, that's ominous. As if they held together, fearing that the person who brought them to their dreadful fate had arrived. There was no mistaking it. A presence was approaching. The sound of footsteps was almost non-existent. Okay, this definitely feels like the very last chapter. Oh my gosh, that achievement felt like last one. All the tips are gone. If the Higurashi hadn't warned me by ending their chirping, I probably wouldn't have noticed. My exhaustion left me in my heartbeat, and displaced a rush of adrenaline that sharpened all my senses. I was just barely able to hold back the creeping, suffocating, feeling of horror. It wasn't something I could hold back for long. But in this moment, when I needed to be razor sharp, I was able to retain my composure. I wasn't going to shout like I did yesterday. I hid myself calmly amongst the trees, waiting for my pursuer's shadow. Could I get them to pass by me? No. Since I was able to hear their footsteps, they were probably also able to hear mine. They might have already been able to tell that I hid myself and was holding my breath. The person tailing me, was it Reina, just like yesterday? If it was Reina, I wouldn't hold back. I could just yell at her and make her go ahead like yesterday. Yeah, there was that. Oh boy, it's gonna be actually something even worse if it's actually like Sadako or Rika, one of those two. Especially since we haven't like seen how we haven't seen them like aggressive or mean at all just yet. They've been acting like normal. I still kind of feel bad for Sadako, even though I still think she's gonna kill Rika for whatever reason, unless like probably just new character stuff. But like, it's all painting like they're all actually part of the crime, and like, okay, it's actually my wish has been granted, if that is right. Oh my god. Main characters, killers. They'll probably not get away with it by the end, though. If they didn't. If it wasn't Reina, it would depend on how they acted, I guess. The footsteps ambled closer. I swallowed, wiped my clammy hands in my pants, and readjusted the grip on the bat. I could tell that the fear that I had been beaten back once was now waiting for another opening to come at me. Who could it be? I peeked out from behind the tree as that person's following me. Hi! My imagination had led me astray. It was Reina. There was a bit of relief I realized it was someone I knew, but the feeling left me in an instant. This wasn't the same Reina that I knew. Her eyes were dark and lifeless, but her mouth appeared as if it was carved into a crescent. Yes, it looked like she was grinning slightly. Her right hand was a hatchet. Oh, it's the hatchet she literally just held in front of your face at the larger, the scrapyard. Yay! I hid myself behind the tree once again and recalled the unbelievable sight I just saw. What's that just now? The embodiment of terror laid bare. Baseball, pressed my swing. There were tons of excuses for me to be carrying a bat. But for that hatchet? There was no excuse for that. A hatchet. Just like that? Walking around? Keiichi-kun, are you playing hide and seek? I wonder? I wonder? My heart was pounding. Hard enough that I had trouble breathing. What little composure I had been able to hold on to was now crushed. In its place, cold sweat gushed forth, covering my entire body, letting me know precisely what kind of emotion had taken hold. Not good, not good, not good. I wasn't able to hide myself completely. Yeah, this is pretty much more just an act of war, actually. Just how you went to Mion and now much. The arena just here with a hatchet. It's just a whole believe me, look at that smile. Like she's just having a merry old fun time with this. She already knew I was here. Were you trying to scare me? I wonder. I wonder. I decided that it would be better to reveal myself now, since there was still space between us, than to allow Rena to come any closer. I adjusted my grip on the bat again, ready myself mentally, and stepped out from behind the tree. Hi! I found you, Keiichi-kun. Well, found is more like he let himself be found, so I'm sure to trap you. Rena was pleased that she found me, eliciting a mysterious giggle. Her mouth was smiling, but her eyes told me she was displeased by the fact that I'd been hiding. Those eyes. They were just so empty. My legs began to quiver. Not good. In the pit of my stomach, some sort of vicious, hot, and cold substance began spreading around. If I allowed it, that substance would slip into my bloodstream and undoubtedly freeze all the organs of my body. Not good. Not good. I'll be devoured by Rena at this rate. Strike back. Don't lose. What is it? I blustered, hiding behind my bravado. But Rina didn't flinch one bit. Just the same as Keiichi-kun. I'm heading home. Then what about that hatchet? Then what about that bat you're holding? Oh, I'm in baseball league. What are you? Are you gonna go back to the scrapyard and like go all that? Why did you bring it? Why did you bring that home from school? Why are you carrying around a hatchet for some stupid reason? I'm practicing my swing. Then I'm treasure hunting. You just carried the axe from the school to home? Rina gave a flippant explanation as to why she has such a fearsome weapon. Treasure hunting? At the treasure mountain near the dam site. I found a new cute thing. So I need this to dig it out. How could I believe that? You wouldn't believe it, would you? Rina's laugh was obviously very strange. I'd seen Rina's transformation many times before. The one today was completely different. She just in the transformation stage already before we even talked about it. Like her mischievous tone and shrewd glint in her eyes. It wasn't something that roundabout. I'm not sure what to say. It was just so obvious. She's just walking around with a hatchet, and I'm pretty sure it's not even a whole thing of that, so... War games. Wait, Keiichi-kun. Reina didn't stop walking, even as she let out that eerie laugh. Whenever Reina got too close to me, I would scurry away and turn back towards her. The cycle repeated over and over. No matter how you looked at it, I was being chased by Reina and was trying to escape. Don't follow me! I can't do that. My house is this way after all. When I met with Reina on this road yesterday, she cowered and trembled as she followed my commands. But today was different. Reina didn't show a hint of trepidation. Actually, wasn't I the one who was cowering? The old record flip. If the way home for Reina and me was the same, that's fine. I'd just change my route. That'd work out, wouldn't it? I turned onto a side street I'd never been down and knew little about. But Reina saw me do that and followed me while laughing. Why? Why? Aren't you going home? Then just go home down the street you normally do. Why would you follow me down this weird little side road? Those thoughts screamed in my head, eventually spilling in my mouth. Just like randomly start walking to someone just to start talking to them. And that way you both know for a certainty if there's a village conspiracy or all the kids are just yeah. Why are you following me? So my voice is already tinged with terror. Because I want to talk to Keiichi-kun. Then speak while we walk. Keiichi-kun wants to talk to Reina too. Reina too, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I don't want to talk about anything with you. That's a lie, isn't it? There's something you want to ask me about, isn't there? Not at all. I had nothing to talk to you about. That's a lie, isn't it? It's not a lie. Rena's scream echoed, startling some nearby birds into flight. Lies! I cringe in fear. The only thing I could do was increase my pace. Time to go to the store now, Keiichi. For no reason. Let's talk, Keiichi-kun. Talk. How was I running down this unfamiliar and deserted street? Doesn't Keiichi-kun have something he's worried about? Nothing at all. I'm not worried about anything. Lies! Even though I was running, even though Rina was walking, why wasn't I getting any farther away? I know. I really do know. You're scared, aren't you, Keiichi-kun? I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. Lies! My breathing grew heavy and I felt like my legs were giving out from beneath me. Reina wasn't even breaking a sweat. I'll listen. This time, I'll listen. I had no idea what she was talking about, or what exactly she wanted to do. This time, I'll listen. Oh, I'll bet you will. It'll be different from the time with Satoshi-kun. It'll be different. When she said Satoshi's name, I turned back for a moment. As I did that, Rina was still advancing. I couldn't afford to stop. Satoshi-kun was worried too. It looked like he was having such a hard time. But I didn't listen. I was so sad. Where did the street connect to? All these twists and turns, ups and downs. It was hard to believe that this was even remotely in the direction towards my house. My sense of direction had long since gone out the window. I really regretted it when Satoshi-kun transferred out. I thought that if I had listened, he may not have transferred out. I really regretted that. Oh my god. Okay, you're kind of screwed now, Keiichi. Oh my god. Yeah, have fun. The road led me deeper into the forest. Wasn't I getting farther away from the village the more I ran? I lost more and more of my composure the more I thought about it. But despite this realization, my inner self was still disturbingly calm. Just walk, run, keep a good just spatial awareness. Next building you see or anything good landmarks, then just calculate and figure out where to go from there. So you see, I vowed. I vowed that if there was someone struggling like Satoshi-kun did, I'd save them. I don't want to see anyone transfer out again. Damn it! What does transfer even mean here? I won't let you transfer me. I won't have the same as Satoshi. Come on, Keiichi-kun, talk to me. I'll be able to understand you, Keiichi-kun. I'm your ally here. I started wheezing, out of breath. My lungs were so hot they felt like they were going to explode, and my heart was beating as hard as it possibly could. I should have practiced running instead of my swing then. I couldn't even afford to scoff that stupid thought. If Keiichi-kun doesn't have anything to worry about, he'll go back to normal. Everyone will be back to being friends, and we can enjoy club activities again. Next time, we'll team up and beat Michan. Yeah, how much fun that would be. Yeah, with that little just strain of oh yeah, all my friends are killers, and not the whole way of like oh, you killed someone? You're gonna kill me? No? Okay, nice. You keep doing you. I'll spend time with you. Not the whole thing. Literally just actually actively threaten to do that. Yeah, how fun that would be. Reina couldn't even imagine how much I'd wish I could turn back the clock in these past few days. You could be nice to me again, too. I want to go searching for treasure again. This time I'll prepare a nice lunch. Actually, we could just go right now. Let's go to the dam site together. I'll show you the cute thing I just found. I'm sure you'll like it too. My footsteps made pathetic flapping sounds, my legs wobbled and faltered. Hot at my heels, Reina's steps were sharply breaking twigs underfoot. I had to accept it. I was on the run, being chased by Reina. If she caught me, it was all over. I realized instinctively. I couldn't even begin to think of what the end would entail. It's literally just you against her, and like since she has practice swinging things, and like she broke some like literally just damaged someone's eye till it couldn't even work anymore. She kind of has more experience, and if this is like a thing that's been going on for like a while on. Oh boy. Just that if I was caught, it was all over. That's all I knew. It didn't matter how I was going to end. I wouldn't let it end here. Not without knowing anything. Not yet. That momentary lapse was all it took. Of all the things that could have happened, my knees buckled underneath me and I crumbled towards the ground. I tried to stand frantically, urging my legs to respond. I used my bat as a makeshift cane to prop myself up, but Reina was already sitting right in front of me. Oh boy. Have fun. If she raises the axe anyway, that's your free shot to go. Compared to me, out of breath and utterly exhausted here, Reina was so cool and composed that she could have froze the air around her. She wasn't breathing hard at all. Rather, I couldn't even sense if her heart was beating. She truly is a demon. Are you facing something? I wonder. Well, I mean, yeah. We were in the woods. There could be mysterious, dangerous bears all around here. It's like you to tremble, Keiichi-kun. Her expression looked almost affectionate. Those soulless eyes, that mask of affection. Oh my. As she admonished me for trembling, Reina's hands deftly slipped over her head. Her hands? The blur of arms they moved made me feel as if I was staring at the godliness of the thousand-armed Buddha. And as both of her hands met above her head, the hatchet that she held came into focus. Oh, you're lifting it up. Okay. I stared up at it in disbelief. It was all I could do. Tell me, what happened to Satoshi? Reina stayed like that, with the hatchet raised above her head, and solemnly opened her mouth. It was as if she was expressing a farewell to a friend she was never to see again. That cruel scenario resided somewhere in her actions. I told you. Satoshi-kun transferred out. Enough of that transfer crap. It means demoned away, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You can tell me now, can't you? Who made Satoshi disappear? Was it you? Mion? Or someone in the village? Answer me! I became frantic the more I screamed, but Rina did nothing but maintain the smile frozen in her face. Yeah, she's not gonna say anything. Have fun being, rip. I had no idea what Keiichi-kun is talking about. I'll say in a way so you do. Who is the perpetrator of the chain of mysterious deaths? You seem to be confused, Keiichi-kun. What? There's no human perpetrator. You're really gonna... Oh, it's really gonna supernatural. Everything is by Oyashiro-sama's will. Isn't Oyashiro-sama's curse a superstition? You believe in that too? It's not about believing or not. Oyashiro-sama exists. Period. Oh. So it's saying it's literally just surrounding his whole town. I could say something again, but god damn it, that'd be spoilers. Not for this game. Rina's gaze grew even more gelid. The ferocity of her stare was so intense, it led me to question anything. There's just no way that something like Oyashiro-sama could exist. You don't believe me? In Oyashiro-sama? There's no way I could believe it. There's no way it could exist. It exists. Oyashiro-sama exists. Keiichi-kun should have felt it personally. Oh, all those ports. Oh, yes. Makes sense. I never felt something like that. Keiichi-kun, haven't you felt someone apologizing to you before? Constantly, on top of that? You were mouthing that this whole time, though. Someone apologizing. All noise in the outside world disappeared. Only Reina's voice resounded, loudly and terribly. You see, until you forgive them, they'll always be with you. At school, at home, at your bedside. I couldn't understand what Reina was saying. It came to me too. Oyashiro-sama did. That's why I transferred and came back to Hinamizawa. I don't understand. I don't understand. What does transfer even mean here? Religious possession? What was Reina saying? Hasn't Oyashiro-sama come to you as well, Keiichi-kun? I'm probably the only one who you can confide in. I won't let you transfer out, okay? Reina's demented laughter clanged around inside my head. Was she saying Oyashiro-sama came to her as well? Wait, that's right. Last night, I heard about that when I asked about Reina. Oh, okay. Please keep this confidential. Also, part of this may be speculation. Not all of it may be true. Are you still interested? He honestly think Oyashiro-sama was a true curse. Oshi-san began speaking. Neither the victims nor the school filed a complaint, so there's no preliminary report. Basically, the police intervened in this matter. All these details are just what I heard from those involved, meaning it's not that credible. You said they were victims. Didn't Rina just break all the windows? No, Rina Ryugu had attacked 3 boys, using a metal bat. 2 of them made it out with only bruises. The other had been injured so badly that one of his eyes was permanently damaged. Attacked 3 boys. This is a different detail. You only mentioned like one person was an eye being permanently damaged. 2 of them were bruised. Wouldn't that be considered assault? Shouldn't the police have arrested her? For whatever reason, the victim never pressed charges. There's no report to the police, so... They were beaten with a bat and suffered significant injuries. Nearly would be a criminal investigation. But why didn't they press charges? Everything just feels so weird. There were supernatural presences and stuff like that. But, it was very, very much the down low. I tried asking the 3 male victims for their side of the story, but they were all reluctant. It's hard to say, but they were all afraid. Even after she had transferred schools. Oishi-san, could you summarize it starting from the beginning? Rina hit people while she broke the windows. Or was it, she started breaking the windows after she got bored of hitting people? They sounded similar, but the meanings were drastically different. Yeah, the method of, whether, like, how much aggressive. If you start attacking people first, then go to windows, or you go to windows, then attack people, that's 2 different things. On an undisclosed date, Rina Ryugu was conversing with 3 male students, close friends of hers near the pool storage shed. Who were those 3? I can't reveal their names, but they were close to Rina Ryugu, and it seems they were a group of friends. She was the lone girl in their group. So it wasn't that strange that the 4 of them were together. So what happened? So she attacked them or something like that? Like, did they say anything that upset her? I don't know the reason why. She took the baseball team's bat that was in the pool storage shed and beat the 3 of them down one to the other. What? There were no witnesses. This is an account pieced together of the information given the time of the incident. One day after school, Rina and 3 male students were at the pool storage shed talking together. They weren't seeking help, rather, they usually met up there. It appears it became a heated discussion. At that time, Rina underwent a change. The change was so abrupt, the 3 of them didn't comprehend what was happening. Then, taking the metal bat, she talked to her friends one after the other. Okay, so that basically just lays it all solid that I'm just an absolutely dangerous threat. Okay. Yay! Blood. Death. Leaving her friends covered in blood with gashes in their heads, she made her way towards the school building. Then she broke the glass windows one after the other. A few minutes later, a teacher appeared on scene and subdued her. So first attacked, then windows. Huh. So, like, weird possession even after she went? You said before, like, she came and transferred to, like, the prefecture. Like, she made friends, they set up a routine, and then one day she just attacked, and then transferred back. What was this change Rina underwent? What is up in the statements that the 3 was a sudden change. The point that there was a transformation. Transformation? I also could recall her transformation. I'd seen that change many times before. It was so different from the usual Rina that I couldn't help but believe it was someone else who looked like her. That transformation they're talking about had happened before? No, there was nothing like that. Something I talked about, like resolved to this. Every time they had a transformation scene, it's like that. So literally everyone is just possessed? And they're doing terrible things under that curse, which only started happening like 5 years ago? So like there's some weird great evil in this town? As far as I could find out, in her medical history and past, there was nothing like that. Oh! And that's because of the sudden change, they just gave her that neurological issue implanted with her. all of a sudden, she never had that history ever before in her life. Does that happen often? Where people change suddenly like Rena did? Of course it does. There are plenty of psychological phenomena that could cause something like that. Then you're saying there was a dormant element in Rena that caused that transformation? I cannot say that for certain. According to the statements of her friends, it's hard to believe she had such a side to her. Kind, caring, and adorable. Even before she transferred here, she was probably pretty popular in school like she was now. Oh, she's very popular in school. Oh, that makes it even worse if everyone in the friend group is. Oh. You can't say shit about them or else everyone's just like... No one's gonna believe you anyway, god damn it. The girl transforming suddenly and assaulting him with a bat. Who could imagine such a thing? Nobody could have seen it coming. And since the whole like incident was blocked over by police or like you know, Suzaki's family, no one's gonna know about that unless you specifically actually have a feeling and dig into it. Or someone like Oishi like tries to warn you. I myself sometimes believe that I was mistaken for thinking that was Rena, even now. Then what happened after that? There was a hospital right across from the school, so 3 of them were carried in and treated quickly. But what about Rena? What about the police? Why wasn't there a criminal investigation? You see, the police can't get involved unless they are called. Even though one was badly injured with permanent damage? Why didn't they file charges? That's what caught my attention as well. Either some threat or pressure was placed on them, or they had a reason they couldn't file charges even if they wanted to. We're talking about you after all. Of course you looked into it, didn't you? Well, yeah. I told you at the beginning, didn't I? That the victims were all very reluctant to talk. They didn't want to touch on the matter. Or rather, they didn't want to be involved. It's been years since they're still fine. They didn't want to talk about it. I keep going back to it. God damn it, I need to play that game. God fucking damn it. Reluctant to talk. Didn't want to touch it. Didn't want to be involved. It resembled the villagers here in Oyashiro-sama's curse. Did the teacher at that school tell you anything? The school is hallowed ground. You could say they tend to keep scandals in their wraps. Yeah, I can buy that, honestly, if it's like a prestigious school as well. I didn't have a search warrant, so I had to tread lightly, you see. Then there was no comment from the school. They probably didn't need to, for some reason. No, they denied the incident even happened. Even for the windows being shattered. Oh boy. It's just 3 male students were carried in for blunt force trauma that day. That's all there was in the hospital records. And no exact cause to the blunt force trauma. The victims didn't speak, the school denied it happened. They don't know anything at all. Yeah, I know nothing other than the incident itself had taken place. The victims all wish this incident to be kept from the public, so if you and I both forget about it, Maebara-san, then this incident will probably just fade away. For a brief period, we sat in silence. Yeah, have fun with the two of you, trying to figure out how to do this. With you, Keiichi probably gonna die right now, but I'm, on the inside, of the town and trying to figure out everything that's happening. And, you, Oishi, who is literally just, I don't know, just doing something, just having research into this, but, you're too far away to actually be of help right now. At first, it looked like a simple assault case. That's just a tip of the iceberg. The more the details you go into, the larger the iceberg becomes. The depths were obscured by roiling waves, sinking quietly into the void as if it never existed to begin with. After that, she was suspended by the school. And during that time, she underwent psychiatric counseling. Did you hear anything from that doctor? Again, they were very professional in regards to their ethics. Yeah, so like it was just a almost like a non-disclosure thing, or like patient-doctor confidentiality. Or at least very tight-lipped. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing even after you showed them your badge? I was told to get a warrant. Yeah, it's kind of, common. The badge itself has no legally binding authority after all. Then how did you know that Rina confessed that it was Oyashiro-sama who did it? Good point, actually. There was a nurse I asked in the department. Oh, okay, and you just, like, asked that. Okay, nice. She agreed to help me just from showing her my badge. Then what did she say to you? Turns out the nurse hadn't heard everything. Apparently, all that she remembered was that she overheard from inside the room. The nurse said that at the time, Rina Ryugu was very calm and mild-mannered. It was more like she was confessing her sin to church than a counseling session. Was the nurse just eavesdropping in? Nice. Eavesdropping people are actually the heroes of the story. She spoke with her mother there for some of it, but partway through, her mother was asked to leave. So it became a private counseling session between just the doctor and Rina for a while. The part with Oyashiro-sama, when did that pop up? Partway through. She screamed the name suddenly. That startled the nurse, and that's why she started listening in. Well, that makes sense, actually. It was Oyashiro-sama! She suddenly screamed that. I had no idea what was said before that, so I had no idea what the meaning behind it could have been. Okay, so the nurses recount. The doctor calmly and collectedly asked Rina to have a seat. What is this Oyashiro-sama you speak of? Gently. Ever so gently. A fundamental part of counseling is to be a good, patient listener. Be understanding. Yeah, makes sense. Whoever abandons Hinamizawa will be hunted down by Oyashiro-sama. And it's finally gotten to me. That's the town you lived in before you moved here, isn't that right, Ryugu-san? I didn't want to move, but because of my mom and dad's circumstances, we had to. But Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow it. Ryugu-san lost a lot of friends in Hinamizawa. Even now you must be missing them dearly, don't you think? I want to go back. Back to Hinamizawa. No, it's not that I want to go back. I have to go back. I should have gone back much sooner. But now it's too late. Oyashiro-sama has come. Oyashiro-sama is the name of the god in Hinamizawa, isn't that right? Everyone knows. It's Hinamizawa's guardian deity, and that's been twisted. If you ever try abandoning Hinamizawa by leaving, you'll incur its wrath. You had moved quite a while ago, didn't you? Then it was just now that this god has arrived. Is that what you're saying? You might not believe me, but Oyashiro-sama exists. The nurse was then asked by another nurse to do something and left the room. God damn it, we got my goddamn duties and you have to do that. That was all she remembered. Holy shit, goddamn, eavesdrop more. That it was Oyashiro-sama's doing, right? I do believe there is a kind of superstition in Hinamizawa that if you leave the village, then you incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. Well, mom and dad are screwed now. You should be familiar with this part, Maebara-san. I knew very well what those scorned by the village incurred. To hinder the dam construction project, they cursed the construction foreman to his death. In the following year, Sadako's parents, supporters, and leading advocates for the dam were cursed to their death. But this was the first time I've heard of the curse incurred by leaving the village. Wait, this is my first time hearing that. I can understand outside threats being cursed by the village, but why also villagers who leave? The gods becoming more fickle. We're going full on down supernatural, and I'm enjoying it all for it. Normally people who leave villages aren't supposed to be cursed, right? I know it's a bit strange to say it, but I can see as a rule that people who come in are the ones who would be cursed. But far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. Curses weren't something to chase the people that leave, were they? Oishi-san pondered for a bit over on the other end of the receiver, then began speaking again. It's like the string has been planted to the source, and the farther you go away from it, you be pulled back. And if not, then I'm almost like a rubber band, almost. It's released, and you go berserk until you go back again. Well, I told you long ago when Hinamizawa was called Onagafuchi, didn't I? I recalled hearing that. Long ago, Hinamizawa was feared and respected as the village of demons. Ooh, new sprite. New background. The villagers at the foot of the mountains worshipped the demons. So Onagafuchi was hallowed ground that you could never enter. The swamp. I kept thinking about that. I feel like it keeps going back to the swamp. Almost always the swamp. Oh god, is that actually where where Reina chased Keiichi right now. God damn it. Died here. Well, he's gonna go missing in like a few days after it all happened. Oh man, it's not going according to the curse. You gotta kill me next year, Rina. It's tradition. It's tradition, right? The villagers of the mountains worship the demons, so Onigafuchi was hallowed ground that you could never enter. It came to be said that if you entered carelessly, you were cursed by Oshiro-sama. Those who set foot in Onigafuchi, in other words, Hinamizawa, would be cursed. Well, now you just entered the swamp, so you're doubly cursed now. I can understand that. I know that. But for leaving to also be no good, that's... Also, the demons, you see. They were being strictly watched by Oyashiro-sama, so they would not enter our world. In other words, Oyashiro-sama probably restricted interaction between Onigafuchi and the rest of the world. I see. It's that whole ritualistic thing? And if, like, maybe if we're going... So, like, the seal between the worlds is, like, weakening and, like, more demons are interrupting and, like, going into people and all that who get cursed. And Oyashiro-sama's curse is literally just trying to make sure everyone, like, who, like, interacts with the demons in any way, shape, or form, like, stays around. Or dies before it affects the rest of the world. I finally understood what sort of thing Oyashiro-sama was. So basically, Oyashiro-sama is more like a warden than a protectorate deity, I guess. It's literally just a prison warden. Trying to keep this place isolated from the rest of the world. I guess that would seem. I'm sorry, I don't know very much myself. This mostly was passed on to me from my mother. Isolated from the world. And if, like, everyone's being possessed to make sure that happens no matter what happens causing from the town itself. That's very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. I can understand it a bit better if it was like that. Those who came to Hinamizawa would be cursed, and those who try to leave would also be cursed. So because Rina had originally lived in Hinamizawa and moved away, she fulfilled the requirements for being cursed. So that means, because Rina moved away against his wishes, she was cursed by Oyashiro-sama? Is that what it adds up to? Oh yeah, Keiichi, didn't you leave for a funeral at the beginning of this game? Triple cursed. In short, that seems to be what it points to. Yeah, I guess. As a matter of fact, soon afterwards, they did move back to Hinamizawa after all. Like a flick of a switch then. Just like happened to the parents then, not just, you know, Reina. Those who abandoned Hinamizawa and left were cursed. But then, why only Rina? Shouldn't Rina's parents also have been guilty of the same transgression by moving away and have been cursed? Also, in this day and age in Japan, shouldn't there be a lot of people coming and going? If every single one of them was cursed, then it'd be insane. But in reality, it wasn't that big of a deal at all. At most, there would be one person dying and one disappearing at the end of the day of one Higurashi. I don't like saying at most, though. Why would a person be deemed away, though? If Oyashiro-sama, like, literally just trying to make sure everyone's isolated, why exactly make sure someone dies and someone goes missing then? Well, anyways, there's a lot I still don't know. If it was Oyashiro-sama's curse, it doesn't explain Rina beating her classmates with the metal bat, or why the victims wouldn't press charges. You don't think the victims were cowering because they believe that terrible curse would fall on them, do you? Yeah, nothing like that. Don't worry about it. Hey, Keiichi, just keep staying in your flashback, and then you won't die. It's the rules. It's the rules. Of course I didn't want to believe it. But more importantly, I had just realized something else. There's another bizarre connection that Rina made between Oyashiro-sama's curse and metal bats. Satoshi fell victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse and went missing. I'd recently learned that Satoshi had also become infatuated with the metal bat right before he disappeared, just like me. Then, Reina as well. She was affected by Oyashiro-sama's curse. She confessed that much to the doctor. And the weapon which she had used at the time of the horrendous act again was a metal bat. And finally, me. I'd encountered various things that were inexplicable, and now I was holding onto a metal bat. I was shocked when I learned that Satoshi did the same thing. It couldn't be. Has the same thing happened to Reina? There was one critical difference between her and Satoshi's case here. That being, Satoshi went missing after falling victim to the curse, but Reina was still here. Both of them had fallen victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse, yet they were met with different endings. And literally, he died the year of the festival, like, last year. And this is literally just, like, 3 or 4 days after that, so, And finally me. I couldn't call it a coincidence anymore. Reina, Satoshi, and finally me. Could it be that it really was under Oyashiro-sama's curse right now? No. More importantly than that, what should I do now? Satoshi had been demoned away, vanishing without a trace. Reina was fine. Fine? Reina had undergone a change again. I can only believe there was something that wasn't Reina, like, residing within her. And here right now, it was standing before me. Hello again. Oh, we're in the deep in the brush now. Back to this now. It's been like almost like 2 weeks since we've been in this situation, huh? Reina, please tell me, what will happen to me? Reina stood unposing, not answering. Literally, I keep going. I didn't mention this before, but it's like this is Reina to me. And every time that like, Keiichi talks Reina, trying to get something, an actual human reaction out of, and just going back and forth on that. Just Reina's a complete stranger by now. Satoshi disappeared, but Reina didn't disappear. So what will happen to me? I never heard such an unpleasant laugh before. It had become akin to the sound of her breathing. It was no longer a voice or an expression of feeling. Don't worry, I'll save you. Reina took one step forward, still holding the hatchet high above her head. Now then. One step closer, her face spread out to fill my vision. Speak. One step closer. Her nose was close to the touch mine, was still pushing closer. Wait, you literally just crouching down in front of, like, on the ground, just like, you're just gonna overshoot the axe shot by now. There's something you want to say, isn't there? I'll listen. I'll save you. Okay? Speak, okay? Speak, okay? I slumped down, landing squarely in my butt. It wasn't for some pathetic reason. It was all I could do to get as far away from Reina, or Reina, as possible. Yeah. Akin to breathing, are you just, like, laughing after every single word now? I had the gut feeling that I couldn't let her laughter end. Because when that laughing ended, the moment I picked up on the feeling, my body moved by instinct. I sprang to my feet so fast, even I couldn't believe it, and pushed Reina away with both hands. She was light as a feather. Thrown about the unbalanced weight of the hatchet, she was sent backwards as she'd been carried off by the wind. After conforming that in the corner of my eye, I dashed up at full speed. I was the perfect picture of fleeing like a greased pig. Well, at least you're greased. You're gonna be safe until you get to some place of safety. Then get away from Reina. Run away from her. Survive. I couldn't think of anything other than this. While I was running, I remembered I'd been holding onto a bat the entire time. A bat? Such a worthless weapon. I couldn't believe I'd forgotten about this weapon at such a important time. Yeah, my first thought was, either you to, like, smack her feet, or just guard against the hatchet, which probably not work. I sped even farther down the winding path. You're just going down to the scrapyard. So, hey, Keiichi, are you gonna die? Man. I didn't even feel myself gasping for breath or my legs getting heavy. My body understood it as well. If I didn't run away from here, I wouldn't live. I could hear the laughter, that simulacrum of Reina coming from behind me. It's not Reina anymore, it's Reina. It's not the friendly Reina, it's the mean Reina. Oh my gosh. It rang through the trees in my head and slowly chiseled away at my sanity. Oh. The grove of trees thinned out, my field of vision suddenly expanding. Where was this? For a moment, I was bewildered by the scenery I felt I knew but couldn't quite remember. Is this literally all that remains of the dam project before they barred it off? I quickly realized it was a dam site. We're going full circle. Circles. The fact that I dashed mildly and ended up in a place like this gave me a bad feeling. Like I was following someone's scripted plot. I finally could snap right here, then yeah, finger guns, yeah it is. Have fun with that. I had a good view of my surroundings, but I didn't see a single soul here. This is a terrible spot for someone to run, but there was no better place for an attacker. My heart was already on the verge of bursting. Yeah, I've been running for a while. Your lungs are practically dead by now. Most of my legs were screaming. I didn't care. Oh, here we are. If I stopped here, then they might not even be able to scream for much longer. Even still, I glanced back, looking for an excuse to rest. Rena wasn't there. Instead, I saw two villagers walking around. I breathed a sigh of relief that I wasn't Rena, but a third party now. Except the voice inside me rang the alarm once again. Villagers walking around weren't suspicious in of themselves, but it bothered me. They both wore rough-looking clothes. Oh no. Empty-handed, they definitely gave the impression they were just out for a walk. And this time of day, two adults wandering around without purpose, it was enough to raise questions. They could just be hiking around, but it just feels coincidental happening time like this now, so go off, I guess, Keiichi. Oh, hi again. But more than anything else, those eyes. God damn it, those are fucking creepy. Well done, Jesus Christ. They weren't chit-chatting while walking. They were both silent, heading forward, looking my direction. You're screwed no matter what you do, Keiichi. This is why you probably should have said something to your parents. Was it the end of my rope and had finally started imagining things? If you go back to your house and barricade yourself, they'll probably just like try to kill you and bash into your own house. And your parents will just be there to see your corpse. And just find that note in your clock, which you barely written anything down to them. I should run away. That was probably the best choice. If they weren't involved, I'd lose them easily by running. If they were part of the group after me, then they would come running after me. Either way, unless I hurried up, Rena would catch up with me. That's right. I was gonna run. Deciding that, the one began to turn tail. Both of them rushed towards me, as if they knew exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, they're here to kill you. Somewhere inside me, I jumped to the conclusion that Rena was the only thing I need to be afraid of. Nope, it's the whole village conspiracy. It's supernatural village conspiracy, all your friends are dangerous. It's literally every single conclusion all at once. It wasn't just one thing or the other. That's actually amazing. I made the assumption that I didn't need to fear anything else. But right now, I realized just how blatantly wrong I was. Suddenly, the story Oshi-san told me about the demons all leaving the village to hunt prey floated through the back of my mind. I could tell they were both coming after me without even turning around because of their frantic footsteps. It was frightening, being unable to shake Rena off as she slowly closed in on me. But this didn't even compare. Now you're dealing with adults instead of someone your own size and strength. Have fun. Being pursued with such violent ferocity, the straightforward horror was unparalleled. One of the pursuer's arms grazed my shoulders. And it wasn't just their frenzied footsteps, but this also distinct sound of their breathing that I could hear. And I could practically feel them breathing on me. They're already right behind me. Use the goddamn bat. I don't care if Satoshi used it. Actually use it to make some kind of defense. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Still running at full tilt. I felt the surrounding area go still. No. I felt like time itself had stopped. Again, your time powers. Use it to your advantage already. Turn my head back slightly in that frozen world, losing how close my pursuers had gotten to me. I couldn't win against the legs of an adult. In less than the time it would take to blink twice, the frozen time began moving again. They'd be right on top of me. On top of me. And then... Don't think about that, Keiichi. First, realize that you won't be able to shake them off like this. Swing bat. If the fact that you can't get away was given, then you need to make a decision. Go with the right leg, or with the left. You just need to decide which one. Okay, let's go with the left. But when I decide that, the temporal singularity burst into pieces. Right? Left! I swung the bat in a wide arc with my right arm. Using the inertia, I stopped and instantly spun. What? The two of them were clearly startled by that. Momentarily losing sight of me, both their outstretched arms were to grab me instead of grasp an empty space. Oh, nice. Just immediate stop right there. The man on the right, I applaud him for being able to figure it out, spun around to the spot I shouldn't have been and faced me in astonishment. But it was too late. I didn't even need to swing my bat. All I needed to do was extend my arms as I turned around. It was by no means a heavy blow. It seemed like I had enough power behind to knock him off his feet. My next thought would then just be him literally just beat on his legs or his chest to incapacitate him even more. Or break his legs, if I was in this dangerous position. Break both people's legs. Literally. Just knocking him down wasn't to scare him away. He got back up in no time. Both of them took a fighting stance and were ready to face me. This made me certain they weren't just two people out for a walk. They were clearly after me. It felt much easier than dealing with Rena. Just by not recognizing their faces, by not knowing them, it made things easier. I smiled wryly on the inside. What do you want with me? Next one is going to go right in your face, you bastard. It's fine if it's just a bluff. It's more than just fine, okay? Let your ass off if you have to. Do anything. By barking out at them, I was able to fire myself up. They didn't respond. They don't want to give anything away. They sprouted to either side of me with unbelievably calm expressions on their faces. One of them would grab into my bat and the other would hold me down. Was that their plan? Taking both of them at once would be impossible. Hot sweat poured from every pore in my body. I just had to settle with the first move. I step in and strike the first one down. Literally aim for the head, literally, if you have to. Like, calculate where exactly they're going to move their head and swing to that place if they catch on. Narrowing my target down to the man on the right, who had already been knocked down before, I stepped in and swung with all my might. There was no way for an unarmed person to guard against it. It would cause immense damage either way. They blocked it with their arm. Their bones would snap like a twig. They turned their back to it, and those pulses of the blow would travel all the way to their vital organs. It looked like he was aware of this. He pushed farther through the kill zone between us and delivered a fist right into my gut. Not good. With distance in this position, this stance, there was no way for me to dodge it. Okay. The world flipped up and down. I understood that I was being tossed around like a rag doll. It landed on the soft earth without a sound, from the grainy soil pressed against my face. Pocket stand. It didn't hurt at all, actually. But the moment I thought that, I suddenly felt pain coming from the abrasions on my skin, as well as the contents of my stomach being forced upwards, filling my mouth with a bitter sensation. I knew very well that I didn't have the time to relish this experience. I stepped as quickly as I could. At that moment, the other man was already barreling towards me. Being able to comprehend calmly that I simply couldn't dodge it made it all the more upsetting. After plowing into my stomach full force once again, my assailant twisted around behind me and locked his thick arm behind my neck. Yay, have fun with that. My throat felt like it was bleeding, crushed out by his immense strength. I can't think of a way how you get out of this, then. Honestly. I couldn't even contemplate that was being strangled. I thought I was about to go unconscious. My vision simply darkened. A silent whining noise began playing deep inside my mind. It took everything I had to keep myself from blacking out. While this was happening, the other man was more than likely standing in front of me. I wasn't able to open my eyes, but I could feel that he was there. There was nothing I could do now. Unable to shake this arm off me, I couldn't run. I couldn't fight back. And it feels like you're like being held against off the ground, so unless you can use the bat again, move it around or like do something, or literally just go for the man's crotch, literally go dirty, then yeah, dire straits. I can't even come up with a phrase that adequately described my situation. Oh, that's literally the end of that section. Oh god, you just got knocked out like that. Oh god.